Hello, and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, and with me today are two Let's Players by the names Gobs and Super Potion, aka SP, who are assisted by the possessed tankard pirate captain, Captain Tanky. It's Grog Games. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey everyone, thanks for having us, Yemmy.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, not a problem at all. How is your guys' morning going?
Pretty good, started with a donut, some coffee, went to the gas station, drove over to Gobs' place, and here we are.
I just woke up and got out of bed.
Did Super Potion run into the house screaming, "We gotta go, we gotta get up"?
Yeah, it was more like I woke up, checked my phone thinking I had another 2 hours, and then I was like, oh no, I gotta go. So then I texted God because I had no idea if he was even up. And he was, but he just wasn't looking at his phone.
Nope, don't check it that often.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I may have messed up the times. I'm just going to drive to your house and hope that you're awake.
Well, that's no problem at all. It all worked out, like I said earlier. We're here, we're talking to the Grog Games. So, one of the first questions I have for you guys today is, living in Minnesota, is it really different from the rest of the U.S.? Obviously, I live in Ohio. I live in the more urban area of Ohio, so I get around to like the more countryside areas. I was just wondering how it is in Minnesota.
The first thing I gotta say is everyone thinks it's really cold here, and actually it's not that cold at all. Everyone thinks it's like always negative weather and it's snowing like all the seasons throughout the year, and that's really not true at all. We've had like a super mild winter this year. I think it snowed like 3 times, Gobs, right?
Oh yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, it's honestly really nice here right now. It was 49 degrees the other day, which for us is very warm.
It's 49.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you didn't go outside yesterday, did you?
I did, but I didn't know what the temperature was.
Oh, okay. Well, I did because I drove. But yeah, no, it's really nice. I mean, we have our city like Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we got our city area. We got our suburban areas, which we live in. We live sort of right near outside the cities around it. Mm-hmm. And then you got your country as well. So it's a nice mix. And I think I like Minnesota. It's got a really good culture here.
I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Are you guys born and raised in Minnesota?
We were, yes. We grew up in Minnesota, and we actually moved to New Jersey when we were in middle school, and we were out there for 5 years, wow. Just because our dad had a new job. But we eventually came back for family and everything. But so pretty much.
I'm guessing there was a stark difference between New Jersey and Minnesota.
Yes, no.
I don't know. It wasn't that different.
Not too different.
It wasn't as cold there. I'll say that.
It's all about the weather.
I mean, kind of.
I mean, that's what people think, so.
I don't know. The people weren't that different, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. Like, I always thought that for New Jersey, like, at least now, as a kid, I had no idea, but in New Jersey and, like, East Coast, people are meaner there because it's closer to New York, whereas Minnesota's really nice, and it's really just everyone's exact same everywhere.
Kinda.
So do you guys follow the Vikings at all, or do you not really care about the NFL?
Yemmy, it really depends on if we're winning or not.
You're a bandwagon guy?
I'm a bandwagon guy. I'll admit that right now.
I didn't know that about you.
I enjoy a good football game. Do I watch it regularly? No, I don't, because we normally lose, to be honest.
We're not that bad. We're okay.
Well,
we're okay.
I mean, I watched that last game against the Bears, and I wasn't too impressed. Sorry to say.
Oh, well,
That's fair.
That was your guys' last chance to get into the playoffs, and unfortunately, the Bears just outplayed you in every single way. Not trying to harp on you guys, but
oh, what? No, we're used to it at this point, and by that I mean disappointment.
Well, I think wasn't it last year that you guys lost against the Saints in the playoffs, and your dude did a backflip to try and tackle someone and missed completely, and that's why you guys lost.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch it.
I don't remember that. I remember the miracle play, and everyone was hyped because last year, the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, in our location.
Oh, was
and
it?
so everyone was really hyped because we're like, oh, we could go to the Super Bowl and win in Minnesota, and that would be amazing. And I think we did really well, and like we were almost in the semifinals or whatever it is, and then we messed up, like you said. So,
Well, I'll move on to something that you guys are a little bit more knowledgeable in.
great.
So, Grog Games, where did it start? How did it start? And how did you two, as brothers, come to the conclusion that you should start the Grog Games channel?
That's a good question. I basically peer pressured Gobs into it.
On
I
a
think.
on a drunken night.
No, I was just bored.
Well, yeah, the truth is I've always sort of wanted to do it. I had this image in my head that it would be sort of amazing. And in college, we made a few different videos that were just like silly skit videos. So they weren't actual Let's Plays that we're doing right now. But I didn't know anything about editing at the time. So at the time, my roommate was doing all the editing. We used like a really crappy camera, and I would like write up the scripts, and we would all do it together, and it was sort of like a fun thing. And so at that point, I was like, oh wow, it'd be really cool to do some kind of Let's Play thing in the future. And then I don't know, like we started 8 months ago, and
It's
it was
been that long.
yeah, it's been 8 months.
Wow.
Guys. But I was just like, okay, now it's time to start it. And then we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much it.
I always knew I sort of wanted to be commentary, sort of like Game Grumps. I didn't want to do it by myself because, frankly, I think Gobs is way more funny than me. So
I don't know, man. I just say things.
So it seems like SP, you take a little bit more of the leader type position on the channel. Would you agree with that, Gob?
yeah, Gobs.
Oh, most definitely. I'm just here to talk and have someone for SP to talk to while he plays video games.
I actually
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I do more of the community stuff on our channels for sure, in terms of commenting, going through Discord stuff, Twitter. That's pretty much all me on Twitter and Instagram. So
if you have
beef,
I
would say so.
It's with SP.
It says Grog Games, but it's not.
I was actually watching your guys' latest Shovel Knight video, and the amount of I don't know how to exactly word it, but like Gob was saying how good he is at the game, and all of a sudden SP just rocketed in front of him. Is that how most of your Let's Plays go?
With Gobs being cocky, you mean?
Yeah.
Whoa. I rarely get to play, but I'm going to make the argument that when you can't beat something, I'm the one that's got to beat it. So
I don't blame Gobs for being cocky, to be honest, because like throughout I don't know if we said this, we are actual brothers in real life.
Mm-hmm.
that has been established.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows.
Yeah, how'd you guys meet?
Well, I was born.
Well, it was about 24 years ago. But yeah, no, as we were growing up, pretty much it was determined that Gobs is better than me at video games, and I just grew up with that as a fact, even though I was like continually going through phases of like, oh, I can totally beat him at this game. Never happened.
I don't know, man. You beat me at Pokemon. I don't have the attention span to work that hard at Pokemon.
That's true.
Oh.
But yeah, that's how Gobs is cocky, because yeah, I do hand the controller over to him in crucial moments like Undertale.
And
he has years of you doing that to back up his cockiness.
Oh yeah, it's well-bred cockiness. It's a psychological growth over time. Yeah.
Also,
Pavlov's
it's
dog.
fun to be cocky and then fail at something.
Right.
Because like then you're like, oh, shoot.
So, besides from Shovel Knight, what's your guys' favorite game to play together? Or is it Shovel Knight?
I don't know, Gobs. What do you think?
I mean, it's not on the channel, but I love a good game of Rocket League.
Ugh, that's true.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. I do enjoy Super Smash Bros., although I never win at all, ever. But, yeah, I don't know. We might have to do more co-op games in the future. We were trying to get a little more into that, like with Shovel Knight, so Gobs could, play more. But yeah, I would say Super Smash Bros. is always fun.
I do love a good game of Super Smash Brothers.
So what kind of more co-op games are you planning on bringing? Like more indie games, maybe more AAA games? What you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I do want to. I don't know. I think probably both is the correct answer. I personally like indie games just because I like seeing games on our channel and on other people's channels that no one's ever seen before, because it's always like a new surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you were playing some AAA game, which may be fun, I mean, really, if you're watching a AAA game, you're watching it for the channel itself, the person playing it.
Right.
Where for indie games, you might go into it watching the game itself and then grow attached to the person on that channel. So in my mind, there's two positives for an indie game over a AAA game. But then again, it's always super fun to play those AAA games because they're really good.
Yeah. Well made.
Well made. Sometimes most of the time a lot better than the indie games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, it
depends on what you're playing. But yeah.
So you guys have only been on YouTube for about 8 months now. What do you think has been the biggest growth that you guys have had, whether it's through the quality of video, thumbnails, subscriber count? What is that?
I think probably just our editing and content in general and commentary over time.
I was going to say commentary.
Commentary,
Initially,
for sure.
I had no idea what to say.
Yeah, we don't watch our old videos, Yemmy. They're not that great. And I'm sure a lot of people say that too. But yeah, I think we've just gotten more entertaining over time in general. I know my edits have gotten a lot better because I had no idea what I was doing in the beginning, for sure. And now, like with our latest Shovel Knight video, I thought I did an okay job.
Yeah, it was presented very well, and I had fun watching it myself.
Why, thank you.
So, with the game, actually, let me rephrase that. With the year being over, 2018's over. There's been a lot of games that came out in 2018. A lot of good ones, some flubs here and there. What was your guys' favorite game of 2018?
Easy answer.
Is it?
Super Smash Brothers, man. Are you kidding me? It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't buy a ton of games this year that came out directly in 2018. Except for Super Smash Bros. Mm-hmm. No, you know what? Did Breath of the Wild come out this year?
That was last year.
No, that was the year before.
Yeah.
Yemmy, I am classically behind on games. Like, when people buy games when they first come out, I'm too cheap to do that. So I just wait until they're on sale or, years later after the hype's gone down. So
well, yeah, you can get like
I
guess I should say, with Grand Theft Auto 5, that game has been at $60 for so many years.
Right.
So if you're waiting for that, it's finally down to $30 now. And I was like, wow, that is incredible. It took this long. But I get what you're coming from, though, because a lot of games, they'll go on sale, and then, the next few months, it'll go down to like $40. The next few months, it'll be on sale for like $20 to stay at $40 for a little while. I guess where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll buy some full-price games if it's like a childhood thing, like I bought Super Smash Bros., and I do have Grand Theft Auto, and I did buy it at full price because I was peer pressured into it at a LAN party, and 8 people were like, hey, you need to get this so we can play Grand Theft Auto. I was like, I don't know, guys. My wife will be pretty mad.
So SP, you're the one who has a wife. Does Grog have, oh my gosh, I keep saying your name wrong. Gob. Does he have a wife?
I do not have a wife.
You're not ready for the sanctity of marriage?
Go ahead, Gobs, answer.
I mean, not at this exact moment, but in the future.
So, SP, how did you meet your wife, and how did it grow into a marriage?
Good question. So
Who knows?
we met. Sorry, we met in college. Actually, I knew her freshman year. And we were hallway friends, so we'd see each other in the hallways and say hi and whatever. And then I asked her out junior year, and it sort of just got on from there. And I proposed after our second year, so it was like a year or two after college. And yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. And I see she comes onto the channel sometimes playing some games. Are you planning on having her on more? Or?
Yes. So there's a segment that we started that has one episode that's called Wifey Plays.
Oh.
And my idea was she's just gonna play video games every once in a while. I'll just throw on a random thing. So that hadn't happened for a long time. So yes, that is in the agenda, is to get her on in a few more games, and she's totally on board with it too. I mean, it's not gonna be super common, but yeah, we'll get her on every once in a while.
Cool. Yeah. This is a little bit out of order, but where did you guys start with your gaming careers?
Gaming
What
careers.
was the first game I played?
I think the first game that I can think of was Dad bought me a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Blue.
Yeah, you Pokemon Blue.
Was my first, I think, almost my first ever game I've ever played.
That is definitely the first game I ever played.
Yeah, all my friends were playing it. You know, that was the hype time with Pokemon, so that's where I started, and I sort of went along from there.
And I piggybacked on your Pokemon Blue.
Yeah, he piggybacked.
I was mad we didn't have a Blastoise, and we decided to have a Charizard.
We're having
I was
Charizard.
like,
It's the superior Pokemon.
It is not, though.
First gen Charizard. I tweeted this yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
I
actually,
disagree. I like a Blastoise.
I voted on it too.
Thank you.
Gotta go Charizard. I don't know why, but I've always gone Charizard, no matter which Pokemon game that has, Charizard as one of the first starter Pokemon.
Yeah, it's no contest at all.
Yeah, all right.
It's 2-1 here. We're winning.
I know. I've lost.
Yemmy owns the podcast, Dobbs.
So one of the things that happened to me when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy Color as well with Pokemon Red. My sister decided she wanted to play the game, and she overwrote my probably about 12 hours worth of Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
Has that ever happened to you guys? Has your brother ever come on and been like, we need Blastoise, overwrite the game?
I think that might happen a couple of times with our younger brother, Sketch.
Yeah, it was him.
He would steal our Game Boy games and then just restart it without telling us.
That did happen.
I don't think it was that bad. Because, like, the ones that I had a lot of hours on, I would keep really close.
Yeah,
so
dude, I remember your Ruby version.
I put, like, 400 hours into my Ruby version.
Ooh.
It was a big deal to me back then.
I have no idea who did that. Oh.
Do you carry any of that animosity still to this day?
Yeah.
You do?
No.
You're holding a grudge from like 12 years ago.
I'm waiting, planning, and plotting. No, it's fine. We're all past that.
Well, that's good. So growing up with three brothers, what kind of crazy scenarios did you guys get into with just being brothers in general?
Well, I was the one who would lead everyone to do things, to be honest. I had
the
a
Gandalf of the group.
Yes. I was like, come on, Frodo, let's go on this quest.
Fly, you fools.
I always had a really active imagination as a kid, so I would always rope them into doing like little games and stuff, like adventures and everything, and pretty much I told them what to do. So, you have any comments about that, Gobs?
I mean, I just go with the flow. So, like, if you wanted to do something, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, Yemmy, but Gobs is a lot more chill, so it works out, our dynamic.
It didn't seem like it in that video when he was yelling at the top of his lungs.
You have your moments, right, Gobs?
Yeah, every once in a while.
So, Grog Games obviously is your name. How did you guys come up with the name Grog Games? And then how much beer have you drank on the channel while doing videos?
Oh, those are two very great questions. Thank you for asking, Yemmy. Grog Games, we came up with the name because when we first started, we wanted to drink in every episode.
Oh.
And after like a month or two, we were like, that's not good for anyone. So, and we're not exactly kid appropriate, but we wanted to like be a little less with it. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just like to leisurely sip a beer while playing video games.
Yeah, so we still sip beers, but we don't outright say, oh, hey, we're drinking a ton now. But anyway,
we're usually not.
We just wanted to come up with a catchy name that also involved drinking to start with. So we thought of Grog Games, and And yeah, that was how it started. And we wanted a mascot, so that thing with Tanky happened, and now he's our captain. So that happened as well. In terms of how many beers we've drank on the channel, oh geez, Gobs, do you have a guess?
Well, I have no idea, man. Not like I don't know. Don't ask me ridiculous
158,
questions.
Yemmy. 158 is the answer.
I doubt that. I think that seems high.
You guys should totally have like a board behind you guys on your web camera and have, like check marks for how many beers you've drinking in the year or however long you want to do it. I think that would be a great idea.
That is a fantastic idea, and I will get right on that. I also want to do something where, like, I would edit in like a bar of how many beers we were actually at when we were playing the game. So with no introduction in the beginning of the episode, these bars would just come onto it, and it would be like, oh, Gobs is 4 beers in.
Do you think beer gives you extra XP when playing games?
That's a fact. Also, +2 strength, -1 attack. So
Isn't it +2 strength, -1 intelligence? If we're going,
it depends what beer it is.
all right.
Also depends what game you're playing too.
That's true.
So your name's SP and Gob. Did Tanky give those to you, or were they birthed from your own imaginations?
No, he christened us with names that we didn't want. So he was just like, hey, you're part of our crew, and here are your names now, even though we didn't want new names. So that's how that happened.
So
although we're happy with our names, so
I don't know. I like mine.
So what is the story behind the tankard pirate captain, Captain Tanky?
Oh yeah, I'll give you the brief summary. The first video we ever did goes over the whole thing, which if you like cheesy 90s, 80s music, there's a section in that as well. But basically, Gobs and I were playing video games one night like we normally do. And he was like, do you want some grog? And I was like, I don't know what grog is, Gobs. Why don't you tell me? And he was like, well, it's rum and water. And then we mixed it in the special tankard that I found in my random house, at one point in a trunk.
Filtered water, right?
Oh, yeah. No, if you have regular water, I mean, we're not animals, so you got to filter it.
I mean,
even my dog drinks filtered water.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it should be salt water, quite honestly.
Well,
if we're going true grog.
I know, but we're 21st century here, guys.
Yeah.
So.
We're not stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean?
I mean, not yet. I mean,
Okay.
Maybe for our 1K episode. But yeah, we poured it in, made some grog, and the tankard came to life because it was a possessed tankard, and it was possessed from a ghost pirate captain who called himself Tanky, and then he basically told us that we have to make a YouTube channel, and that's what we did.
Do you think that his peg leg might have been made out of the same material as the mug?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
You are startling us with this knowledge, Yemmy. I don't know. I'm afraid to ask him, to be honest.
I don't claim to be a ghost expert, but I think that's kind of how it works.
You're not wrong.
Well, what about you guys? Do you guys believe in ghosts? Because I'm not 100% believer. Like I get where some people are coming from, and I've seen some pretty good evidence, but it's like nothing's happened to me. What about you? What about you two?
Oh, I am so glad you asked this question. I love the paranormal so much. I would say I want to be a believer. I'm not 100% of a believer because I haven't seen anything. And I mean, to be honest, I think that's where a lot of people sort of get on board or off board is if they've seen something. So I haven't seen anything, but I do know that there's some unexplained things out there. I mean, I've listened to a lot of paranormal podcasts, and that's always really entertaining. And I'd like to say that probably, I mean, so there was one time in college where we went on a ghost tour. I was in philosophy club, and I was the president, and I'm like, oh, we're going to use all of our budget to go to this hotel and stay at a haunted hotel. So we did like a really, not professional paranormal investigation in the hotel. And it was pretty fun. Didn't see anything. We might have seen an orb, but it could have been dust. But so yes, I love the paranormal, and it's an amazing subject. I think they're out there, Gobs. What about you?
I don't know, man. Ghosts can exist, maybe. I don't know how things work.
That's all you're gonna say to that? That's
I don't know.
nothing else?
Well,
Okay.
You usually start seeing ghosts after the 5th beer. Do you guys think the Titanic is haunted?
The Titanic is haunted?
Oh yeah. Do you think that's haunted all the way at the bottom of the ocean? If we somehow were able to fill it with so many ping pong balls that it lifted it up to the surface, do you think that kind of like Ghostbusters, ghosts would just burst out of it and fly in every direction?
Nah, they'd be stuck to the ship, technically. That's where they died.
But you're admitting they'd be in there.
Oh yeah, man. If anything's haunted, the Titanic is for sure haunted.
Ugh.
There's a big ship filled with people.
It would immediately be one of the most haunted places in the world.
I mean, it still exists, so it would currently be. It's just you can't get to it.
That's true.
I've always been when I see a sunken ship, I've always felt kind of uneasy, no matter what it is, no matter it's like a tiny sailboat or a huge wreck like the Titanic. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It kind of seems eerie and creepy to me.
Well, it's not meant to be underwater.
Yeah, true. There's not enough Flex Seal to fix that.
If only they had Flex Seal.
Yeah,
The Titanic could have been saved.
Right.
I know.
Phil Swift needs to go back in time and save the Titanic.
Yes.
That's a good movie.
And
You
we're
should-
sending John Trump.
Yeah. So last question for you guys today. Obviously, these battle royale games are huge right now. They're almost on everyone's channel. You haven't played them, of course. Have you? What's your guys' opinion on the battle royale genre in general?
It's entertaining for some. Well, when we started our channel, we did play Fortnite.
We played Fortnite.
We're
not good at it.
I think we had like 8 episodes of Fortnite or something like that.
I see now. I missed it. When I was
No, it's totally fine. But we basically stopped doing that because 1, we wanted to focus on a niche, which was RPG games. And 2, we didn't think we were good enough for people to watch us
We're
play
not
Fortnite.
nearly good enough to watch us play Fortnite.
And we realized we'd have to train a lot in Fortnite, and
Not worth the time.
I think it's just anxiety-ridden, to be honest. I can't handle it.
It's too much stress for you, SP.
You're getting hunted down by people better than you.
See, you're wrong. You should be doing the hunting. That's the whole point. That's why you're not winning.
And that's why we can't play the game, Yemmy. We just argue about what we're supposed to be doing the whole time.
You two would just be standing there arguing back and forth, and the guy would just get a double kill with a sniper rifle right there.
Yeah, pretty much. All the episodes that Gobs was like, let's go hunt people, we lost. And then like the one episode I was like, no, we're sitting in this house.
Oh,
It's an episode of us sitting in a house the whole entire time.
yeah, it was awful.
But we made it to top 5, and then I killed myself by accident.
There was one episode where we did top 3, I thought.
Oh yeah, but we weren't recording.
No, we were. It's just the audio was bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So probably won't be on our channel.
Well, that's all right. I think the battle royale scene is too oversaturated now. Anyways, every
I
game's
agree.
gotta have it. Every channel's gotta play it. I try and
Yeah.
stay away from it myself too.
Yeah. I mean, we're not against collabing and having it on someone else's channel.
Mhm.
We just it's not going to be a for sure thing on our channel.
Actually, I've forgotten about this. You actually do a D&D RPG Friday Twitter poll every Friday, and you kind of continue this RPG story. How has that been going so far? Because that's a really interesting concept, and I love voting on those things and seeing what happens.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was one of my better ideas. So basically, we play a really simplified version of D&D on Twitter itself, and then I do a recap video every other week on the channel on Thursday for it. So how that works is I go through and I do Twitter polls on Twitter, saying what our characters are doing. So like, for example, the last one we had, our main, Charlotte Stone, who's a mage, she was about to learn a new spell, so everyone voted on which spell was the one she was going to learn. And so on the recap videos, I basically go through the polls and determine what happened and if there's comments, and then also I add to it. So you sort of have to watch the recap videos in addition to the Twitter polls, just so you get everything and you're following the whole entire story.
Has there been any moments where you've been surprised by the outcome of the poll?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm a D&D expert, but I have been a game master multiple times. And we did play D&D. Well, we actually had a group going a few months ago that just dissolved on its own.
Yeah,
but,
that was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
That always sucks when that happens.
Yeah, adult life. But yeah, so I'm used to like thinking logically and having a lot of different things at my fingertips and what to do. So that's why I was hoping that we would main a mage when I did that poll, and we did. And I was like, oh, cool, we'll have so many spells, we'll have so many options, it'll be great. And when we first started, and probably still now, everyone just wanted to cast Fireball at everything, at every single moment. So I didn't want to, I guess, hold anyone back from doing what they wanted to do. So I just kept giving them the option of, oh, we could do the sneaky thing or this really intelligent thing tactic. No, let's throw a fireball. So that did surprise me a little bit. But hey, I mean, as long as everyone's having fun, that's fine.
Well, hey, that's awesome. All right, I think that about wraps up this episode of the Ferret Business Podcast. I've been talking with SP and Gob of Grog Games. Thank you both for coming on to the podcast. All your links will be down in the description below, including Twitter and YouTube. Gob, SP, is there anything else you guys want to say before we end the podcast?
No, I don't think so. Just thanks so much for having us, Yemmy. It was a real treat. We haven't been on a podcast before, so...
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Not a problem. It's been my pleasure. Once again, like I said, their links are going to be down in the description below. And also, I forgot to mention this earlier, in the end cards as well is going to be their YouTube channel and their latest video that is fresh and new, which will be uploaded or on the video itself in the end cards. Wow, I can't talk right now. But I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.